So Carson, you recently announced that you're going to be full-time with Nice next season. I mean, how does it feel to have this all figured out heading into the playoffs this year?
It's big. It's huge when you know you got a job for next year more than anything, and it's big to finally have that announced and go in the playoffs. And it's still my mind that it's make or break because you never know this opportunity in the playoffs is going to come ever again. But it's nice knowing we'll at least have another shot next year.
Carson, a very strong 2021 season as an 18-year-old, nevertheless. 5 top 10s and 15 starts, only 3 finishes outside the top 16, all laps completed except for 2. I mean, from your perspective, how would you grade your season?
I'd give it probably a B plus or an A minus. It's had high moments and some lows. Just haven't quite been exactly where I'd want to be weekly. I feel like it's either bad luck and we had a rough stretch of races early in the year, and I think we've cleaned that out. It's just making our trucks better. We don't have practice, so it's all about that sim that we rely on, and a lot of times it's off, and we kind of struggle and try to play catch up all race. But when it's on, we run really good. So hopefully we can just iron out the details and have our trucks really good firing off and make our job a lot easier.
Carson, if you can elaborate more, what would you say has been the most challenging part of your rookie season?
Just more than anything, the mile and a halfs. I didn't know anything about them. Never drove on one before, and I'm trying to just get thrown into the Lions and they expect to run real top caliber. This is what this team wants, and this is what I want, and we're trying to chase a championship. So it was. I exceeded my own expectations, but it was about learning that, and as well, halfway through the year, I kind of got matched up with Phil Gould from circumstances, and got to determine where our trucks went instead of trying to be the second guy. Now halfway through the year with Brett leaving, I was now the first guy and could determine the directions of the truck and what we wanted to do setup wise and everything, and build around my feel.
Carson, you worked with Cody Efall this year as well as Phil Gould and recently as your crew chief. With Phil, you had some great performances in the first couple races. I mean, were there any key differences you noticed between both of them?
I mean, they're very similar. Phil got thrown into that after the truck was already done and set up at Darlington, so that was Cody's setup. What he pulled it down, so me and him have clicked a lot. It's just all about the little details that are the difference. They have different ideas and adjustments during different pit stops and how we communicate. And Cody is a general manager trying to be a crew chief, so it helps with the whole company if he goes back into that role and plays to his strength and managing team or managing people and managing the team and help find sponsorship and everything and help run the company while Phil focuses on what his strong suit is, and that's building really fast race trucks.
How would you place your odds as a potential championship favorite?
The first round, I feel like we're going to be really good. I feel like we're at least going to be contending for top fives, if not at all three. Just the second round, I think, is everybody's kind of question mark. Vegas, we've never been great, or at least my first time was. I wish I could forget it, to say the least. And Talladega, everybody can figure that out. And it's just the lottery, and Martinsville's kind of the lottery too of a survival of the fittest, especially the late race restart. So I think if we can make it to Phoenix, I think we have a legitimate shot. I think we're really good at Phoenix, and I think our package is really good. It's just all about making it.
Are there any particular tracks that you're viewing as a place to either solidify yourself into a future round or perhaps even nab your first win?
Darlington. It's got to be Darlington. I thought that one was kind of stripped away from us a little bit. I wish we had more green flag runs. Otherwise, I think I'd have a win in that category, at least, or a closer to one. But I'm really glad we're not going to Mosport, where I get another chance at that track.
So you're staying in the Truck Series next year. Were there any potential offers from either other teams in the Truck Series or maybe even Xfinity for 2022? And is there any shot you'll be doing part-time Xfinity next year?
Or at least none that I know of. And there really weren't any other truck opportunities. Honestly, I never really got a call or got anything, or at least that I know of. It was kind of all wanted to be dedicated to Nice. Teams don't really reach out often. It's you go to them with X amount of cash, and they'll see if they'll fit you in the ride. And luckily that's not really the case with Nice, or at least not my case next year. I don't have any sponsors yet, but running the playoffs, and we're basically gambling that we're going to run really good in the playoffs, and the sponsors will take care of themselves because everybody wants to get on a winning truck.
There's no sponsorship solidified for 2022 as of today, correct?
I mean, as of now, I got nothing. It's all open next year.
So right now you're about to wrap up your first full season with Nice. Is there anything from this season that you're prepared to take on next season and be better at?
I mean, I know a lot more. Just handling the trucks. How to manipulate the dirty air. There's a lot of tricks to doing dirty air, and Kyle Busch and Ross Chastain, all those guys, when they come down to the trucks, they don't really complain about dirty air. They start last and they'll be in the top 5 within the first stage. So I think not to that caliber yet, but I'm a lot closer. So just knowing that, and hopefully practice is back on the schedule, or at least itinerary, or whatever you want to call it. But hopefully practice is back, and the bad days aren't as bad. When we unload, not that great.
Says a lot about your character and as yourself as a driver. I mean, this year you barely had any practice, any qualifying. So did you feel maybe you had to grow up a little more as a driver and maybe, mature a little bit without practicing qualifying?
Yeah. I mean, you just have to be tame. I had to really tone my aggression back. I tried to be as aggressive as possible, but coming to the end of the race, I didn't want to throw away anything. I knew that we're in a point situation, and I didn't want to ruin the top 5, top 10 day and kill trucks. I think, I mean, Nice Motorsports is trying to make pennies work on the dollar, and make every penny count. And if I come back with clean trucks, we can work on them and invest in, upgrades and other things, where if I'm tearing it up and they're having to replace parts, that budget comes out of it. And, we got to scrap for pennies to try and upgrade later.
Is there anything that working with Nice has taught you just beyond a driver, just as like a person?
I mean, a lot. Getting into the head role, I guess, or A team. I mean, there's not really that. I don't like to call it that, but just being able to be the head guy that the company builds around the trucks for is huge. I wasn't in that spot last year, and I wasn't in that spot until Brett left. I think our trucks have been immensely better since, which I guess I kind of winged it, and kind of guessed on stuff, and it just happened to work out. So it's been really fun. It's I've, with the COVID stuff lately, I'm basically in my apartment. I can't go to the shop no more, so I've been trying to work on sponsorship myself, and try and do media stuff myself, and try and learn that all myself. And it's been really fun, actually, and seeing results at least a little bit, and having conversations. So it's, yeah, I guess the growing up part has happened pretty recently.